Blue Kool-Aid returns. We are back, baby. We are back. It is September 11th we're recording on, so our thoughts and prayers go out to all the families surrounding that event, of course. But nonetheless, we are here to talk about the Lions' upcoming Week 2 game. They are hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another playoff rematch from last year, a game that the Lions won in exciting fashion. Derek Barnes with the big pick at the end of the game to seal it. I prefer a little less stressful game this time around. Let's just go out and kick their ass. But we're going to get into all that in a moment. But before we do, let's introduce the Blue Kool-Aid crew that is here. I am Big Z. Let's get to the other two. We got Bob.
What's up, gang?
And Rud Dog.
Yo.
Before we get into the game, you guys, really quick, I just had to address that because I think some people didn't like. They thought we were praising Stafford more than Jared Goff in the last episode.
Oh, thank you, Z.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just address it really quick because I think it's important to note that we are very much more pro Goff than Stafford on this podcast. Having said that, Stafford played a better game than Goff in that game. That's all that we were saying.
There's no love for Stafford. There's respect. The man's got skills. The love is for Goff, and the love for the watching him get destroyed by us. That's my favorite part. Honestly, like I kind of hope this becomes like Stafford's like little hell of facing the Lions every year and losing in epic battles every year for the rest of his career. Wouldn't that just be amazing?
Have like great Rams teams, but the one thing they can't beat is the Lions every year. Yeah.
That'd be awesome just to be a pain in his side forever.
What's our email again, Z?
It's drinking the blue Kool-Aid at gmail.com.
All right, because we got a complaint from a friend of the show, G Dog, about this Stafford issue. And I say if she really wants to complain, send an email and use that email to send a Venmo of $100, and then we will consider your complaint.
I like this, Bob. I like this. I support this. Yes, that is the process.
So there you go. If you really want us to look at it, we will consider it.
All proceeds will go to a good cause. Kool-Aid Fund.
I like it a lot. That's Kool-Aid with a K, in case nobody knows how to spell Kool-Aid. Anyways, also it's in the name of the podcast. So, anyways.
Thanks.
So I just want to address that up top. But now let's get into the game upcoming here. The Lions hosting the Tampa Bay Bucs. The Bucs, they're coming off a big victory against the Washington Commanders. That was at Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield, best rated quarterback last week, 24 of 30, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns. Chris Godwin had 8 catches, 83 yards and a touchdown. Mike Evans, 2 more touchdowns for him. He is still a big pain. Last year, Mike Evans, 8 catches, 147 yards and a touchdown. Now, the biggest difference for the Lions this year is that Cam Sutton will not be guarding him one-on-one. I will be curious to see what the Lions do.
So wasn't that one of Cam Sutton's better games when he actually played for us? If I remember, that was like still when he was playing good. The first one, not the later one.
The first
we
one
played
was
him
good.
twice.
Yes. Yeah, we played him twice last year, beat him both times.
That was one of our first. Oh wait, am I thinking? Wasn't that one of our earlier better wins? Or
we won 20-6, so we held him.
The first one was the one where Craig Reynolds had the block from out of nowhere on the Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown. It was the block of the year. At least I think.
Oh yeah, that was such a great block. Yeah. Such a great play.
He comes in from like behind after like a drag route, and Amon-Ra he just absolutely blows up the guy at like the 5-yard line or near the goal line, and Amon-Ra easy walk in. But the highlight of the play was Craig Reynolds' block, just full sprint, full go. Just the grit that the team shows. But then the playoff last year, of course, another raucous atmosphere in Detroit. The Lions win that game 31-23. Goff had 287, 2 touchdowns. Amon-Ra, 77 yards and a touchdown. Gibbs, 74 yards and a touchdown. Just a really fun game. Craig Reynolds had a touchdown run in that game, too. So Craig Reynolds is just going to show out against the Bucs. That just might be his team.
And
come on, Craig.
This last year, those both games are really good. We ended up beating them on the spread on both games, I think. But
yes.
But both games were fun watches. I mean, they were competitive, but the Lions ended up
It
dominating
was
at the
fun
end.
watching the mouse pretend like it had a chance to escape the lion.
Yeah.
It was entertaining.
And Z, I think you agree with me on this. Baker Mayfield's kind of fun to watch. He's like got that
Absolutely.
moxie, got that
I like
swagger, that little gritty, kind of regular guy, but he's tough.
Absolutely.
He's
I've
just
been a
fun to
fan of
watch.
his since he was in college, so I'm very pro Baker Mayfield. It sucks. I was rooting
He's like
against him.
redemption Johnny Manziel, kind of like.
Yeah. Kinda.
No, Manziel was a bum.
He's
guy,
like, yeah,
I
know,
like watching Johnny Manziel
yeah, but
too.
like, but
you guys
Z-
thought Manziel would be a
loved
great pro. I thought he
Manziel.
sucked.
Well, he might have been if he had his head on
NFL.
straight. The guy clearly had a lot of problems off the field.
Boy.
So they a lot of similarities, except Baker just has a way better attitude and a lot of other things too.
I thought the Browns screwed up with him more than him. I mean, it went south for both of them.
Yeah, well, Watson's so great. You gotta give it to Watson, guys. He's the best thing since sliced bread. They're totally gonna win the Super Bowl. That seems evident now.
So before we get into like a little strategy and stuff, just the injury report, I want to note Jameson Williams limited in practice. We're recording this on Wednesday, September 11th, and ankle injury. It's probably from that one where he, on the end around, he got a little banged up. It's probably just a precautionary thing. No need to have him go full go. No practice though. Iffy still out. Kirby hamstring. Marcus Davenport groin injury, and Sewell did not practice. I'm worried about him, you guys. I'm worried about him. I think he's going to play. I do think he's going to play, but I'm very
he's going to play.
He'll play. And Reader's going to play this week, so that's exciting.
Davenport's always taking super precautions, or is this the beginning of something where he's out repeatedly? Because that has been his MO throughout most of his career, his injuries.
Time will tell, Z. You never,
I hope it's just precautionary.
I think he's gonna find. You know what? I'm gonna call it this way. I think he's gonna find that extra grit on this team, and he's gonna get out there more than ever because he just wants to be out there in this team playing for this team so bad.
Yeah.
They were a problem for the Rams, with Hutch and Davenport.
Oh God, yeah.
On both sides, they were really had good games.
Absolutely. Yeah,
He
was definitely causing havoc out there. We definitely want to see him out there every week he can. But honestly, if he has to miss some games, and it means he gets to playoffs healthy, that's more important to me. I think we can get by without him every week. Now the Bucs, they look good. They look good in week one. We'll get in that in a little bit. But the other injury update is that DJ Reader looks like he was full go in practice, which means
I'm excited.
We'll see him to. I don't know how many reps we'll see him get out there, or snaps we'll see him get out there on Sunday, but anywhere between 10 and 20, I'd imagine. So it'd be good to roll him out there and see what he can do in this defense. Yeah,
just because we didn't exactly hurt there without him last week. It wasn't like the Rams were able to get anything done up our middle. So if he's like an upgrade over what we saw there, oh man, that's gonna.
I'm guessing
sick.
he'll play more than that. I think he sounds like he's a full go. I think they were just waiting for this certain time. Because when Campbell's like, he's going, man.
I mean, I just figured he wouldn't be be out there for 40 snaps or something like that, just because he hasn't played in a game yet this year. So he's kind of like in preseason mode, if you will, to a degree.
Probably
I don't think there's no reason to go
down
from 0 to 40 right away. It's just my guess. It's my guess.
0 to 60, that was fun.
I mean, he'll rotate regardless, and I think there's plenty of guys chomping for playing time. I don't think they're gonna feel like they're not gonna rush it. I agree, Z. Let him but I bet if he feels good, they won't stop him though either. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he says he's good. I bet they unleash him, but just let him play. See how he feels.
And he likes. He hasn't had many sacks, but he prides himself on being able to get to the quarterback. So I think with those three guys, going after the quarterback this year, they're going to be like a little competition between them.
Hey,
who can get home?
Absolutely.
Did Houston play this? He didn't play in this game.
No, he was a healthy scratch
again. Yeah. Oh man.
I don't know if he's going to play this week. They haven't announced. I don't think, but I'm guessing.
Yeah, that one's got to be situational. Like if you're going against a team, do you think is going to predominantly throw the ball more than run? You may want to have him healthy so he can be out there
Matt
on
Stafford?
more passing downs. Well, I mean, last
Well,
year the Rams ran the
Stafford-
ball a lot more, so they kind
They
of adjusted their
tried.
game plan in this one, unsuccessfully. I mean, kind of successfully actually, because he was picking the Lions apart slowly but surely. But I mean, this Buccaneers team threw 41 times versus 15 rushes last year against us. And then last year, they'd never been a strong running team under the current head coach at Tampa Bay. They did have 112 yards rushing on 30 attempts. They 30 passing, 30 rushing. Now they were way ahead, so a lot of those carries came near the end of the game. And their leading rusher is Rashad White, who had 15 carries for 31 yards.
He's white.
So not very strong rushing performance by him, by any means. And a lot of those yards I mentioned came on one run. 30% of them came on one run. So outside of that, not a very strong running team.
You're saying he's a bum, basically.
What I'm saying is, it wouldn't surprise me James Houston is active this week, just as purely a pass rushing role, because that is what he does good, and he is a horrible run stopper.
I think a lot of the fans agree with you. They just want to see him play and unleash him, because that snapshot we had early in his career.
Oh yeah.
So if he could just concentrate
slow.
on that, it might be fun. So
Definitely. I mean, it's fun watching him rush the passer. There's no doubt about it. He has really low bend. And even when he gets that low, he can keep his center of gravity and still get to the quarterback. A lot of those guys, they go low and they just fall to the ground. But the strength and have that bend is key. That's what makes Hutch so great. He's great against the run, and he also has that bend and the motor. He was using that spin move constantly against the Rams.
Like,
I mean, he was using every
tackling
move.
him constantly.
Yeah, he used every move in the book last week against the Rams.
He was like a buzzsaw to those O linemen, man. Like it's just like it's so funny watching him, because but what gets me though is so much of the time they still somehow manage to slow him down, despite them getting hacked to the ground with swinging arms and a freaking whirling dervish coming through there, and then Stafford boink.
I hope they might catch up this week. That would be fun.
That'd be great.
Oh yeah, but he did get one sack. He's a better pace than he was last year already, so that's good.
Right. And last year he did have a sack.
He always comes up big too. Sorry, Z.
Yeah, last year he had a sack against the Bucs in the playoff game as well.
And he was winning a lot of his reps, and the reason they didn't have more sacks is because Stafford got the ball out super quick.
Exactly.
I mean, they couldn't get to him in time because that was their strategy.
And the Rams' other strategy was to trip him and completely tackle him behind the line of scrimmage.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
and get away with it about half the time. Just absolutely molesting him out there. Nonetheless,
the only way they were slowing him down.
Nonetheless, as far as the Bucs go, a very key injury on the defensive side of the ball for them. Probably
for G-Dog there.
Probably one of their best, if not their best, their very best defensive player, Antoine Winfield Jr., is expected to miss a couple weeks, so he will not be out there. He's a very impactful starter. The defense runs through him in a lot of ways. Him and Levante David. So not having him out there will probably hurt them. You would think.
And
Elijah Cansey.
You know what's going to hurt them? You know what's going to hurt them? Facing the Lions. So that's what's going to hurt them. They're going to face a lot of pain. That's what's they're going to. Our O-line, D-line, going to hurt them. So they don't matter what they come in with. They're all going to get hurt.
Noted.
All right.
And then the other one is Elijah Cansey. He did not play last week. He suffered a calf injury on the Friday before the game. And he still has not suited up.
That's Red Dog's man crush there, Elijah Cansey.
He's been a decent pro thus far.
He's definitely crying out loud.
He's not on Aaron Donald's level by any means yet. But he's
that
been a solid pro.
Wingo's going to be better.
I hope you're right. He's got a long way to go.
Aaron Donald, I mean.
Mekhi Wingo better than Aaron Donald. Gotcha.
Hey, title line right there. Is Mekhi Wingo better than Aaron Donald? Find out in the pod. But no, I do like that kid, though.
We'll title the episode that.
Yeah.
Anyways, Iffy.
Is that bold?
It looks like Iffy's probably not going to play in this game either, barring something unforeseen. He had a great game against the Bucs last year. Sack and a half, 8 tackles, 6 solo.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
his
man.
presence in the box and to disrupt Baker Mayfield behind the line of scrimmage was key in that playoff game last year. But nonetheless, Brian Branch played more to safety role. He had a great game against the Bucs last year. Similar stat line. He had a sack, 9 total, 2 tackles for loss, hit the quarterback.
I can't wait to see all 3 of those guys together.
Yeah,
Iffy,
it'll be fun.
Kirby, and Branch again. Like, I feel like Iffy was like the missing, like kind of a missing piece. Man, he was so stellar down the stretch last year. Like, if he brings that dynamism to the game again this year, oh my god, will be ridiculous. So ridiculous. Even more ridiculous than I already think how ridiculously good we are.
And so it looks like he won't be back this week. I'm not sure what the timetable is for him. They haven't put him on the PUP list or anything, so I'm guessing they think outside chance to make it this week, if not next week.
Hey, look, Iffy's iffy, okay?
Indeed he is. Right,
do we have a
coming up with all the lines tonight? All the lines. Must be the sunglasses you're wearing indoors.
Yeah, I wear my sunglasses at night.
All right.
Okay.
I know they're so. I mean, let's get more to the strategy of this game. The Bucs last week pretty much shut down the run game of the Commanders. The run game, I should say, because Jaden Daniels had 16 carries for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now he's known to run the ball a lot as a running quarterback. Jared Goff, he has a running ability too that we saw last week. Now I don't know if he'll have 18 carries. Or 16 carries like Jaden Daniels did.
He just wanted to show everyone he could. That's all. He's a weapon. He's a dual threat quarterback.
He said he's for 1 a game. That's what he said.
That's what I thought he said. So we'll look for 1 this week too.
He wants to keep them on their toes.
Watch Jared Goff like start getting into like some ridiculous like rushing like competition with the top quarterbacks. like
imagine to win the Super Bowl on the 5-yard line, quarterback draw on 4th down from the 5-yard line.
UJ would die right there of pure joy and ecstasy for them using his play.
You know, we joke about it, but the Lions would be the ones to do that play.
It'd be a perfect play.
Can you imagine Jared Goff on the last play of the game diving for the end zone to win the Super Bowl?
See, I'm afraid
he's already like becoming an immortal figure in Detroit. But if he does that, I mean, the statue's going up before the next season starts.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, sorry about these Super Bowl hypotheticals.
When he wins the Super Bowl, Z, I think you mentioned off air you're going to get a Lions tattoo when they win the Super Bowl, right?
That'd be great. I should.
That might actually convince me to get a tattoo, honestly.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty.
Should I get the current Lions logo or the bubbles?
I get the current one with the year, with the Super Bowl trophy.
Yes.
Because that's immortal.
I feel like some of those guys will like get it before the season ends.
No,
and stuck with it.
Stupid. Unless you want to get this pod noticed, I guess. Yeah. Maybe you could do it.
Do you like your record, your guess at the record, and then like the Super Bowl scored, like just all on your prediction?
Yeah. So, getting back into this, getting back into the strategy here though of this game. I mean, Lions 31 points against them. They like to throw deep against. Or at least last year, they like to throw deep against them, especially with J-Mo. J-Mo had a long catch in the first game against them. Really nice cross-field throw from Goff to J-Mo, who had a defender draped on him. I believe it was Antoine Woodfield, and he caught it anyways. But the Lions really spread out the ball last year against this team. Amon-Ra, 8 catches. Sam Laporte, 9 catches. J-Mo, 2. Josh Reynolds only had 2. I'm expecting a bigger game out of Amon-Ra here. The Bucs like to play more zone coverage. Yeah. Some of these other teams, that's where Amon-Ra really shines. And I think he's also going to be pissed off about his performance last week and really respond this week. I imagine you guys are on a similar wavelength as me in that regard.
I expect bodies to be left behind. Yes, I think he's going to destroy them.
Yeah, I think like you said, they had some success last week at the pass, the JMO and stuff, but they really want to get a rhythm going, which they never really did last week, or not consistently anyway, with the 3 and outs. So I think, we're going to see more like short passing and just to get the first downs, just keep those chains moving. And I think the run game is going to be featured a lot, because I think it's going to be a high-scoring game for our side.
Yeah, I agree.
You think a lot of points in this game. So the over-under is 51. It's a high one.
Just consider this, though. Like, he has a goal, like a number in mind for this season, and he's already has to be like so far behind on that goal. I think he's going to work to make up a good chunk of it. I expect like a few touchdowns, like 3. I think he's going to just tear them to ribbons. Like, J-Mo's going to like be wide open, but Amon-Ra's going to take it from him because he's saying that determined. But I just think he's going to go off. I don't see how he isn't. He's too good.
But in what regard? Is it going to be a lot more short throws? Are they going to throw it deep to him? Intermediate,
yes, all around.
sideline?
I think he's going to get open against them. I don't care. Like, he's going to get open all around the field. He's going to get a deep one. He's going to get short ones. He's going to get all of them. He's going to put on a clinic. He's going to put on an absolute clinic. You know what he is, and you know how pissed he is right now. He's going to go out there to show the league who he is, and don't forget it. Like, I don't see how he doesn't just tear them apart.
Did you like the stat last week that the Lions, at least, I didn't get to see what it ended up as, but at least at halftime on the NBC broadcast, they showed that the Lions used motion on 91% of their play calls, which if I didn't see where it ended, unfortunately, but I'll have to look it up after the podcast ends, or if I can find it before here. But that would have been the 6th most ever in an NFL game.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure where they ended up. And the Rams were at 83%.
Yeah, because both teams, they like to do that to see what the coverages are.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Why not? All these teams are doing it now, but not to that. Like the Lions doing it to extreme levels.
But I think these two teams in particular, the Rams,
Yeah, they're
the
cutting
Lions,
edge.
are very good at it. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, McVay's pretty renowned for his offensive prowess. So are we. I think we're better, but it's obvious the advantage of doing it to get reads. Like, that's how whoever the announcer was on the game pointed out how Stafford was using it to keep hitting us on the perimeter out there basically at will, because they would do the move, the motion,
right.
And then the guy would
It killed us on the Cooper Kupp touchdown, for instance. They were running that motion all game, going cross line. Then Cooper Kupp at the last second fakes it, just runs a quick route to the pylon for an easy touchdown, because their guy just tripped, not anticipating the half motion, if you will. I mean, Kupp has done that ever since Stafford's been over there with the Rams. Well, anyways, the reason I bring it up is I expect the Lions to put Amon-Ra in the motion a lot in this game. See if the Bucs are going to be in zone or man, and if nobody follows them, that means most likely they're either switching the man or they're in zone. No, probably more likely means they're in zone, because they play more zone. This Bucs defense, and that's why I think Amon-Ra is set up to have a good game. I think they're putting motion a lot, and he's going to settle into those zones, and Goff's going to look his way right away. I'm trying to look up what is his over-under receiving here. It looks like 80 and a half is his over-under receiving.
Yeah.
I'll probably take the over in that one.
The only downside I see on him is that he's so good, and they all know it too, and they're still going to try to take him away, but then J-Mo will just get so wide open, it'll be too hard to ignore him again.
I think they're, especially with Antoine Winfield Jr. being out, they're going to be more concerned about J-Mo beating him deep, and that's going to open up things more underneath for Amon-Ra.
Well, I mean, yeah, he did make a little bit of a statement game last week, so maybe that'll help Amon-Ra in return. It'll be interesting to see, because the Rams clearly dedicated more resources to taking out Amon-Ra than anyone else.
Definitely,
and
yeah, and I think with J-Mo going off last week, I think they're gonna feed the hot hand a little bit too. So they're gonna take some shots with him, and maybe run him around reverse too. Something like that, just to get him going.
The thing with him is he's got separation speed like no one else. I feel like that route when he won the touchdown, it was Amon-Ra versus him basically, who could get more open and draw Jared Goff's ball, and he got so wide open that Goff had the easy choice with him, whereas Actually, if you look at Amon-Ra, he probably had his guy beat, but it would take like a nice dot throw deep down the field instead of wide open touchdown.
Well,
and
and
that's just what J-Mo's going to be able to do, unlike anyone else.
Yeah, and the safety rotated over to Amon-Ra as side, so that made it even easier decision for Goff.
Yeah, you're right, though.
Hey, Rud Dog, if Goff could make that throw, though, that could alleviate the whole, like, he can't throw the deep ball thing. Because if he could actually throw a precision pass deep,
he does it. He's done it.
He does it sometimes.
He does. It's not his go-to. I'll give you that. Like, he's not Josh Allen out here just chucking it downfield as much as he possibly can, but he can do it at a high level. We've seen it done.
Well, it's better than Caleb Williams, I can tell you that much. I don't know if you watched any of his game against the Titans. He cannot hit a deep pass to save his life, and with wide open receivers, overthrowing him by like 5 yards routinely.
Oh yeah,
the exciting thing. The thing to remember about like J-Mo is that Goff has had a speedster. Actually, he's a speedster. I think had a pretty good weekend himself last weekend. Brandon Cooks, were the Raiders? Is that where he's at now? Anyway, but he's been successful chucking it to. Oh, that's where it was. He's been successful chucking it to speedsters, and the fact that he's on the same page with J-Mo now, like, I think they're gonna. That's like the irresistible speed of J-Mo is like the X factor here. That makes it hard to kind of predict how this ball's gonna go, because I can see him doing what CeeDee Lamb does to people, or what these Justin Jefferson, just being so open all the time that he's just the guy. I think he has a higher upside than Amon-Ra talent wise, so maybe he's flexing and he'll take over the number one from Amon-Ra. But I'd like to say Amon-Ra is gonna remind everybody this week. I still think so.
They could both be great, though.
I know.
This could be one of those teams that, at the end of the year, later when you're looking back at this team, like superstars at every position, you're looking like, oh shit, they were loaded, man.
So true.
Look at that. Look at all those people, because these guys they're still scratching the surface of what they can do. All of them.
Right. Like, absolutely. How many people talked about Anzalone this offseason, and yet look what he opened the season with. Like, he was the forgotten man, and he said, hello, don't forget about me, y'all. And puts on a clinic at linebacker.
That reminds me of something I was thinking of with this defense. We had we have some growing pains, with the rookies and stuff, like but these guys, they seem to really believe in this defense. And with that line, they actually have a good line. If they keep playing together and keep getting better, it sounds like they believe they can be like top defense in the league. I mean, they're not doing it statistically yet. But remember a couple of years ago when their defense kind of sucked, and then like halfway through the season they changed something, and then they were kind of good, for a while. Now they're good, and they could just change that gear, and they're great, and they're like elite, top of the league. I can see it happening.
I'm with you, Bob. Like, I was talking to UJ the other day, and it's just like, the thing that just keeps going through my head is just how detail oriented, how like driven and focused this whole team is, how creative everyone is, including Aaron Glenn. He knows his stuff, and he finally has the horses. Like, he finally has the guys who can execute his scheme. You're right, growing pains and all that, but you just know, like, this defense is going to be formidable, because we have dudes who aren't like again, Cam Sutton's not your number one cornerback this year, and Carlton, the guys that Davis are like our third cornerback's better than our first cornerback last year. Like, our fourth cornerback's better. So like, we're like, I think he's got his horses to execute on his scheme. And I think this defense is going to get very, very good, because they're so damn detail oriented that like they will shut people down eventually, especially as the rookies really pick up their craft.
Well, and that was the other thing I want to bring up, is that Carlton Davis signed, or in a trade, came over from the Buccaneers, and here he is now going up against his old team in week 2. Yeah. I think we'll see him match up with Mike Evans a lot, especially because he's familiar with him. He's had probably 100,000 reps against him in practice, and in the games.
That would be cool.
So if anybody knows how to defend him, it's probably him. And then the Bucs are also, challenged on their side, because they have a new number one quarterback in Jamal Dean, who hasn't really been in that role yet. He's a younger guy. I think the Lions might be able to expose him like they did the Rams cornerbacks last week, especially with J-Mo. So I think the Lions have a slight advantage there, and I think that could be the difference maker in this game.
I think they're going to play Arnold on Mike Evans.
Ooh,
I think so.
I do. I think they're going to go with that.
I don't think
he
we'll
went,
all game, but I definitely want to test them out against them for sure.
yeah, but
they might just place. Are they playing?
I mean,
just
Chris
sides,
Godwin
or?
out of the slot is going to be a unique challenge here for the Lions in terms of who will be guarding him. Is going to be Meek Robinson tasked with that. Will Branch come up and guard him every once in a while? Because Godwin is a very excellent receiver as well, and he looks healthier than he has been in the last 2 years.
He's more your speed component too, right? Like he's fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fast guy. He's just really good at getting open, finding the open spot against the defense. Kind of like a Amon-Ra-esque, just a little taller.
That's like, I really do agree. Like the more you think about this, about like the with these guys, with Branch, with Kirby, with Arnold, like these guys are gonna get more and more into their groove, and I just see this being a really freaking hard defense to do anything against. Like with
I just like that the Lions have answers,
tearing everything apart.
The Lions pretty much have answers for everything that will be thrown their way against all these different schemes. And such, like a Shanahan offense versus
we can bang it inside against anybody, and we can still play this against your speed game. Like we have, like, dynamic.
Those linemen talk. They talk like they're like a great unit. Like they could be best in the league, and if they do that, that's going to just help those guys on the outside to sharpen their game.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a beautiful thing to watch this team develop defensively through the year. They've already off to a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So without further ado, let's get into our prediction segments. That's right. So we have 2 prediction segments. Our first one, of course, is our Roar of the Week. That is where we pick the player that we not necessarily have the best stats or anything of that nature, just the most impact on the game. Last week, we threw out Monty and JMO. The Gargoyles were tied. They're co-roars. Now, UJ picked Monty. He thinks he won. Who picked JMO last week? I know I did. I'm trying to remember if anyone else did.
You expect me to remember things?
I don't.
Well, anyways, I mean, I thought JMO won because I picked him. So
I think I picked
Hutch. Give myself full credit.
I think I picked Hutch. I think I might give him 3 sacks or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But I think JMO, because he was the highlight.
Oh, who was like the after action guy? It's definitely between JMO and Monty. I don't know. They were
all right. Anyways,
so
let's go with a Roar of the Week.
It was Monty for UJ, as I recall.
It was definitely Monty for UJ. That I know.
So you guys both had the winners there. So
there we go.
Who was it for me?
I don't know. I don't have that. I just remembered it.
Yes,
I thought he was looking at it. I wasn't asking you, Bob.
Let's do our Roar of the Week. And I'll just throw out UJ's really quick. He has Amon-Ra St. Brown with 9 catches for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he's sorry he can't be here. I just want that was
Amon-Ra,
sorry. Don't feed the bulldog. So
all right. But let's throw this over to Bob. Who do you have as your Roar of the Week?
Roar of the Week. I think this is going to be a big day for the offense. So I'm going to go defense for my Roar of the Week.
Ooh.
And Kirby Joseph. He got a pick last week. He is becoming one of the best safeties in the league, man. I'm sorry. He's been playing really well. And he got a pick last week. And I think sometimes in players' careers, the picks come in bunches. I think this is one of those times. So I think he's going to get I'm seeing 2 picks this week and some defensive passes defended. So Kirby Joseph is my Roar of the Week.
Whoa! Holy cow! Scaring me over here. You're gonna wake up my son. All right, Rud Dog. Who do you have as your Roar of the Week?
Oh, UJ. You had to give his first, huh? Because it's got to be Amon-Ra. Because I think as I've iterated in this, that man is going to be on an absolute hell-bent mission to bounce back after that week. And I'm going to go with Amon-Ra getting 218 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he's just going to be dancing all day as he dominates the Buccaneers. So Amon-Ra is my of the week.
Wow, beautiful.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
man. Is that like a familiar song you're singing
Hey,
to?
did he put your baby to sleep, Z, with that song, that lullaby?
Yeah, he went right back to
love-
sleep. He went right back. So thank you, Red Dog.
That's what I do, baby. That's what I do. Anytime, Z.
Well, my roar of the week is going to be Carlton Davis. Obviously, a slight revenge game. The Bucs traded him away, but I also just think the knowledge that he can share about this defense and how they operate, I think will heavily benefit this offense. So even though it won't be something that maybe we see him do during the week here or during the game, it's his impact is throughout the week here and helping just with little maybe communication things, etc., that the offense can leverage against the Bucs.
His roar of the week's gonna be because he's a spy.
No, because he's sharing his knowledge of the defense, but also I think his play as well is going to step up here because he's going to go. I think he'll be matched up with Mike Evans a lot in this game. That would be my guess. At least half the time, I think he's going to have 2 pass deflections. He still has to work on catching the ball. He missed one in the breadbasket last week, so I hope he has a redemption pick this week after last week.
That knocked the wind out of him too.
Give him a redemption pick, Z.
I'll give him a redemption pick. Why not?
Right,
he's gonna have a pick, 2 pass deflections, and really step up in this game. So Carlton Davis, you are my roar of the week.
I like it.
Beautiful.
I like it.
So let's get to our last segment, and that, of course, is our ever famous predictions for the upcoming game. We're the Lions. Have you guys looked at the spread yet? Have you guys looked at the spread?
Yeah, some
six-
ham, some
6.5?
salami, some beef, some cheddars, some Gouda.
What was your
I thought
guess,
it was
Bob?
6.5.
They had that little.
I was guessing
olives.
6.5. Lions,
Oh, you meant
obviously.
betting. Sorry.
Yes. The spread is 7.5 now.
Ooh.
Spread 7.5.
Wow.
Lions are favored by, so they are heavy favorites, and the over/under is 51.
Nice.
This, of course, is a 1:00 Eastern, noon Central kickoff time in Detroit. Let's give this to Rud Dog first. Rud Dog, what is your prediction?
All right. Feeling pretty good about this one. I think O-line's going to hold up as they usually do, which is, utter carnage. I think Monty and I think Gibbs especially is going to also bounce back in this one. Not bounce back, but explode a few on this one. I think he's going to break a few. I think our offense is going to put up.
Red Dog is counting in case you're on the podcast.
Yes. He's
5
doing
touchdowns.
a lot of pantomiming on
5.
radio show.
Oh, yeah. 5. 5 for you can't see it. 5 touchdowns. 2 to
Amon-Ra you're talking about will have 5 touchdowns, just to clarify.
that would be cool, but no. Amar's got 3. I already said that in my roar thing.
Oh, okay.
But the other
All right.
2
Red Dog,
one's gonna
summarize
go
for
to-
us here.
Hey, you're interrupting me. Gibbs is going to get a tutty. Monty's going to get a tutty. 3 to Amon-Ra. Oh, shit. 6. Because also J-Mo's going to get a big one. So,
Oh, okay. 42-0?
Oh, shoot. I
That's
forgot
7.
about the Hutch pick 6, though. Damn it.
42-0.
Lions are going to win 72-0. It's going to be a bloodbath, but Baker will look fun running around for his life.
10 touchdowns and a safety.
Domination. Utter domination.
Is this your like
All right.
you like the Rain Man? Every time there's a number, you have to 3 touchdowns and a safety, 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
Well, I was just trying to. I mean,
No.
Dog seemed to be calculating to
Hey.
a final score, and then he comes up with
That's
one
right.
that did not add up to the score.
I had to delegate. Z's got that math brain. I just count.
Yeah.
I just get the touchdowns. He does all the
I know
rest.
he's a savant. Big
That's
Z.
right.
Well, the Lions are going to go for 2
Big Z.
twice to start the game, and then score touchdowns the rest of the time. They just had to find 2 extra points out in there. All right, so there you have it. Red Dog 72-0. Bob, before I get to yours, UJ's is 31-17 Lions. Terran Arnold and Branch each have an interception. Hutch and Davenport each with a sack. I hope Davenport plays so we can get that sack. All right, Bob, what is your prediction?
My prediction. I think this is gonna be a good game for the Lions. I think it sets up nicely with Winfield and Bryce Hall out. I think the Goff is gonna carve these people up. The Bucs, but no, our offense, they played pretty well last week, but I think they feel bad that they had those 3 and outs. I think this week there's going to be no 3 and outs, no punting in this game by the Lions. There will be no punting.
Jack Fox, our former MVP.
Yeah, he can just take a rest this
The
week.
punch god can rest.
Sit on his laurels from last week. He can relax on his laurels. And
maybe he'll punt to safety later.
Yeah. So, like I said, the defense, I think they're going to play well here. I think the line is going to get through to Baker Mayfield this time. We're going to see 2 sacks from Hutch and 1 from Davenport.
Whoa.
So,
big game.
At least 3 sacks in this game, and the offense is going to go off. I think it's going to be a balanced attack. Both running backs are going to get theirs, and I think he's going to hit a bunch of different receivers, Goff. And so everyone's going to get theirs this week. And I think the leading receiver is going to be Sam Laporta. So I think he's he looked pretty good last week. They didn't do too much with him, but he looked pretty good, and I think he's ready to have a big game. So the score 45 to 20. It's gonna be a big game for the offense.
Wow.
And the defense is gonna be good. So it's gonna be a nice one. It's gonna be one you can relax and no tension this week.
It's all loosey goose.
I like. Are you going, Bob? Are you going to the game?
No. We sold our tickets.
Gotcha.
So.
All right. So, yeah, I think this matches up really well, especially with Antoine Winfield Jr. out. Not that I still think the Lions are going to win either way, but I think it's going to help this defense or offense even more for the Lions. I do think they respond strongly after like an up and down performance last week, especially JG, who we still love more than Stafford. Just want to reiterate that.
Damn right.
To our listeners. But nonetheless, I had the Lions winning this one 34-19. I think the Buccaneers settle for several field goals in this game, but the Lions defense holds strong. I do. Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans might get 1, maybe 2. Mike Evans is really good, you guys. He's really good. He's underrated how good I think he is to a degree.
What did you just say?
I think Mike Evans is underrated to a degree. Throughout the league.
To what you think he's underrated? To what you think?
That's my feeling.
Okay.
He just been so consistent for so long. I think it's not fully recognized. But anyways, the Lions are going to win this 34-19. I agree with Bob. I think Sam Laporta is going to have an excellent game. I think 80 yards and a touchdown from him. I think at least 90 from Amon-Ra. I'm not sure about a touchdown. I think Monty gets another touchdown. Gibbs gets another touchdown. That's 21.
How's J-Mo getting anything?
Not J-Mo. J-Mo probably gets 40 yards.
Give him a touchdown, Z. Give him a touchdown. Come on, he wants it.
I'll give Sam Laporta the other 2 touchdowns in this game.
Give him more.
And then a couple field goals. So there you have it. 34-19. And we have all yet again predicted a Lions victory. They'll move to 2-0 as they head into week 3 of the NFL season.
Hey, you know what Z did with that description there? He kind of gave himself 2 roars of the week because he already gave the defensive one out, and then he has this massive game from Laporta this week that he's predicting. So he's right.
Yeah.
He could be right either way here,
I like it. Cover all my bases, All right. But I think that's going to wrap it up for us here on the podcast. We'll be back Tuesday next week with all our reactions to this game on Sunday. Hopefully we are celebrating yet another victory. And you can find us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Please download, please subscribe, please leave a review. YouTube. That's youtube.com/@DTBK_Lions, or just type in Drinking a Blue Kool-Aid and subscribe to the channel. It should be easy to find. It's a lion smoking a cigarette next to a bowl of kneecaps. It's a pretty unique logo that we have. We think it stands out, amongst the rest.
Special.
That's why I think it's not too hard to find us. It's Kool-Aid with a K.
And just ask AI if you can't find it.
Yes. Ask AI. I haven't tried
AI
that,
knows
actually.
all about us, okay?
I haven't asked ChatGPT, where can I find Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid podcast?
Yeah, because you're
Let's do
smart
it
enough
really
to figure
quick.
it out without AI.
Say,
It's
who
always
are
a part
those
of the
guys?
episode anyways. Where can I find Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid football podcast? It's searching. You can find Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid, a show centered around Detroit Lions fans discussing the team on various platforms. You can listen on Apple, Spotify, and TuneIn. It doesn't mention YouTube. We got to work on that with the AI. But either way, you can use it.
Wow.
For example, you can hear the Blue Kool-Aid crew break down key topics like roster moves and upcoming game predictions. All right. Go,
Wow.
ChatGPT.
I
Yeah,
knew you were
nice.
looking out ChatGPT.
Look at that, Red Dog. You got us do a live ChatGPT search. On this
Ask who's going to
episode.
win the game this week. Do they do that? The Bucs and the Lions.
Who's going
We'll
to
determine if it's our
win
enemy or
this
not.
week? Lions versus Bucks. Searching the web. The Lions are favored to win. The Lions have around a 70 to 73% chance of victory, while the Buccaneers have been strong defensively and Baker Mayfield has played well. Detroit's balanced offense led by Jared Goff.
Z, tell the ChatGPT. Yeah, we know all that. What do you think?
Hold on. Experts predict a close game with the Lions winning by a scoreline around 28 to 21.
Yeah.
Tell it to make a prediction.
It said take the under is what they're saying.
That is its prediction, essentially.
No, it just shared us a bunch of raw data. Tell it to make a prediction.
It consolidated it and then
Ask it
spit
to
out
make
the
It's-
consolidated. I'm not going to get into the AI of it all. But,
Yeah.
anyways,
It's not self-aware, Red Dog.
on that note, let's wrap
Not
it up
yet,
with the rest
as far
here.
as you know.
YouTube, Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid. Find us on there. We got to work on getting that pop up as well on ChatGPT.
I say please when I ask it to do stuff because you don't know.
Nope, I just asked.
You don't know.
Get to
You
the point
know,
already.
be polite. That's all I'm saying.
We want to thank our producer, Kid J.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, work on it with 3
Wonderful.
people.
Wonderful.
It
Was
should
it
work
bad,
better
Bob,
with
or
3
was it
people.
great?
Yeah, it should work. Yeah, it should work better with 3. You're right.
Here, do it again. I'll get the middle. It goes Z.
Nope, no, we're good.
Go.
We want to thank SidelineReport.com for supporting the podcast, and we want to thank, of course, our listeners for coming out here every week, responding to things that we say on the podcast. They can especially reach out to us on Instagram at Drinking Blue Kool-Aid, Twitter at Drinking Lions. Come on there, go on there, give us your predictions to the game as well. We'd love to see them. Other than that, thank you everybody for listening.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back on Tuesday talking about this game on Sunday. Hopefully a Lions victory. And last but not least, as always, go!